Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, this has been highly requested, okay? Oh, this is crooked. Fine now? Okay. This video has been highly requested by people in my real life, by people online, people on TikTok, my social media. People have been asking some tips about makeup, and I'm going to give those tips to you. I am sorry, it's super hot in my room. I have my AC going. I hope it's not too loud. I hope it's not a distraction because I'm super hot. So sorry now if it's annoying. I'm gonna try to speak up so that it can drown out the noise. But yeah, this is the best I could do right now. Disclaimer, there is no right or wrong way to do your makeup. There is no right or wrong way. Your makeup is your makeup. You can do whatever you want with it. Some methods that I use, I've seen other people not use, and their makeup still looks phenomenal, and same vice versa. It's completely subjective. And I've also been doing makeup for, God, like 6 years. I've been doing my makeup for 6 years. So these are different things that I have just collected in my time. A lot of trial and error. There was a point in time where my makeup looked like this. You just get better as you go. You get better as you go. And I'm definitely not the best that I could be. I know that for a fact. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Snapchat and Instagram. I'm going to address those questions at the end of the video. But now I'm going to give just some tips going step by step by step by step, category by category in each different makeup aspect, you know. So yeah, I'm going to talk about brushes, makeup brushes. How are you going to apply your makeup? You use a brush. Or sponges, of course. Now, let me first start off by saying you don't need expensive brushes. You just don't. I get all of my brushes. I have no expensive brushes. The only name brand brush I have is by Real Techniques, and I hate it. I haven't used it in like a year, and I used my cheap one that I bought off Amazon. Amazon is the best place to get your makeup brushes. In fact, I got these makeup brushes off Amazon, and I haven't opened them yet, but these are great. I recommend this brand, BS Small. Their brushes are super dope. I've already bought from them before. I have some of their brushes and they're intact. I find that a lot of brushes, especially from Amazon, they tend to like not last a long time, but this brand in particular has lasted me like what, 4 years almost. I want to say 3 years. So, and they're pretty good. I'm gonna try to put the link to these brushes in the description box, but if you literally just search up makeup brushes or brush sets on Amazon, you'll get a lot of them, and for a cheap price. And make sure you clean the brushes like as soon as you take them, like you get them out the packaging. Clean your brushes, please, for the love of God. Great makeup brushes that you can find at Dollar Tree, literally Dollar Tree, or you can find them at Walmart, at Target, and they sell them on Amazon. The Wet n Wild brushes. This one, I love the Wet n Wild eye brushes. I'm not a big fan of their face brushes, but I have yet to try out their flat top brush, which I would most likely use for foundation. So I purchased this one just so I can try it out for foundation. But the Wet n Wild eye brushes, you will not be disappointed at all. So now you have your brushes. How do you clean them? Cleaning your brushes, you don't need to get an expensive soap cleaner or anything like that. I just use hand soap. I recommend using hand soap. Maybe get like micellar water.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm sorry, not micellar, no, micellar water. If you get some micellar water, you mix it in with some hot water and some soap, and you like soak your brushes and dunk them in there for a while, and then rub them on like a pad, on one of these pads, like with the bumps on it. Your brushes will be spanking clean, like clean. So this one I got at Target. It's by Sonia Kashuk. Got it from Target. You can probably find these on Amazon as well. Just something to like clean your brushes. Okay, now let's talk about foundation. Everybody has undertones. My undertones are pretty golden. They're yellow. I have yellow undertones, so I gravitate towards warm foundations. I do not recommend swatching it and matching it to your hand, because look at my hand. My hand is literally like a million shades lighter than my face. And no, my foundation matches my face. I'm telling you it does. Also, people say match your chest. My chest and my body is also lighter than me, so I recommend matching it to your face or to your neck. My neck is also very close in shade with my face. I recommend using that to match. Do not use your hand unless your hand is like literally the same shade as your face. Like I would sit in the mirror and see if they're the same shade. If they are the same shade, sure, match to your hand. However, most people, or maybe just me, I am a lot darker than my hand. So I recommend matching your foundations to your face. Or getting it professionally matched at like Sephora. If you're black, I'm gonna tell you, go for a black woman. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite foundations. So I have one drugstore foundation that I absolutely love, and then I have one high-end foundation which I absolutely love. So the Clinique, oh my gosh, the L'Oreal True Matte foundation. I personally wear the shade N7 Classic Tan. This is a pretty good shade for me. It's like the same. I'm not wearing foundation right now, so this isn't my shade like on my face right now, because I don't have any foundation on. But this is also a banger. This one is by Clinique. I have had it for so long. I've had it for like literally exactly a year, like around this time, because I bought it last year for prom. This one is a lot sheerer than the L'Oreal. I would just play around with the different coverages that you want, whether if you want full, sheer, medium coverage. I'm personally more of a sheer to medium person. I don't really like full coverage makeup on me personally, but I also seen people who love full coverage makeup and they look absolutely phenomenal with it. Again, makeup is subjective. It is subjective. And those are two completely different price points. So the L'Oreal one, I think runs for a lot less than $10. The Clinique one is $30. I got that one from Ulta. I love it. I think it's great. Yeah. And if you blend out your foundation, some people prefer blending it out with sponges. Some prefer to blend it out with brushes. I am a brushes girl. I like blending my foundation out with a brush. So I like to use this brush to blend out my foundation. I bought this brush, you guessed it, on Amazon. It came in a set and it's marble. That's so cute, right? But I use this angled brush. I feel like it's the perfect size for me to really buff and get it in. So I use brushes. A lot of people like to use beauty blenders and sponges. I'm gonna talk about sponges in a second. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to do about foundation. You kind of have to play around with it. I know that there's different finishes with foundation as well. People like matte, they like dewy, they like, there's like semi-matte or sheer matte or satin matte, like those things. Those usually correlate with your skin type. So if you have oily skin, you're gonna probably gear towards a matte foundation. If you have dry skin, you're gonna gear towards a dewy foundation. I have normal skin, so I mostly go for dewy foundations. I don't really like matte foundations because I feel like it just makes me look a little too like I don't know how to explain it. Like, this is the only thing I can explain it as, like, too masked, I guess. So I don't really like matte foundations. I do prefer dewy. These are all of my sponges. I got a lot. So, and these sponges in here are all very good. I do have a favorite, but they're all very good. And these are all affordable. So the first sponge, this is my favorite. I tried it out for the first time in one of my videos, me trying out the James Charles palette, the review. This retails for about $8. Great. It's a good sponge. It's the shape that I really like and how it's just a good sponge. And then I also have my runner-up, which is this bad boy. This is a Real Technique sponge. You can buy these at Walmart, Target. I think they go for like $5 a sponge. Really good sponges as well. Then I also have this Wet n Wild sponge. I've only used it once. It was pretty good. Probably my least favorite out of all the sponges. It did its job, but it was an alright sponge. These are both from Dollar Tree. Yep, they're from Dollar Tree. And they both work very well too. Let me explain how you use a sponge. So what you want to do with your sponge, I can't show you guys because I don't have a sink next to me, but you want to wring it underneath warm water. You want to wring it underneath, like you soak it up and then you just keep squeezing it and squeezing it, and it'll expand and it'll get bigger. So when it gets bigger and it expands, you make sure you wring it out so it's like just damp and not like dripping with water. Then you use that to blend out your foundation or your concealer. I like to use these sponges to blend out my concealer. Sorry, it was a little shiny right here. But I like to use these sponges to blend out my concealer. I don't like to use sponges to blend out my foundation. Alright, and speaking of concealer, let's go on to concealer next, shall we? So my all-time favorite concealer at the moment, that didn't make any sense. I said all-time favorite concealer at the moment. What? My favorite concealer at the moment, it has been my favorite concealer for years, maybe like 2 or 3 years now. The LA Girl Pro Concealer. I wear the shade Fawn. They're amazing. That's all I gotta say. It's very full coverage. I'm wearing the concealer right now. You can't see my bags. You can't. It's just full coverage. So it's my favorite. I literally bought 3 of them like last week. I haven't even opened them yet, but I know they're gonna be great because it's the LA Girl Pro Concealer. What can I say? I also do have a few other ones in my collection. These retail for about $5 as well. You can get them at the beauty supply store. That's where I usually get mine, or Amazon. Amazon literally has everything. You can get it off Amazon as well. With concealer, how you apply it is you just, you know, apply it underneath your eyes. Some people do the dots. I don't really like dots. I usually just do like a big swipes underneath my eyes. And then I take a brush, Wet n Wild brush. As you can see, this is literally my concealer brush, and I spread it so it has like a completely even plane underneath my eyes. Then I like to let it dry down just a little bit for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then I blend it out with the sponge. Reason being I let it sit down and dry for a little is because the longer it dries, the more full coverage that it'll be. But you don't want it to dry down all the way, because then you won't be able to blend it and you won't be able to see the jagged edges, and it will become blotchy. So with that being said, that's what I like to do. Some people don't like full coverage concealers, and I completely get that. I love full coverage concealers. I can't do semi-coverage full concealer.
That
I cannot do semi-coverage concealers. It's just not happening. I just cannot. Then we also have color correcting. Color correcting, I feel like if you're a beginner, is unnecessary. There's a lot of trial and error with color correcting. Essentially what it is there's like a color wheel, and I don't really know what cancels out what, to be honest, because I only deal with darkness and like purples. So just to cancel out darkness, you use red. Or orange. So I use this. Before I put on my concealer, I put on a little bit, and then I blend it out, and then I usually put a little bit of setting powder. I set it, and then I put the concealer on, how I just mentioned. So yeah, that's all I gotta really talk about concealer. There's not really too much to really say about it. It's just concealer. I feel like it's pretty conceal with it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Ooh, let's talk about eyebrows. So eyebrows aren't really my department. I usually just slap on brows, like, and it's however they look is however they look. Like today my eyebrows look pretty mediocre. I don't care about eyebrows that much. I do know that my eyebrows are black because my hairs are black. Black is sometimes way too harsh on the wrong skin tone or the wrong person. Like you can just tell by their face that like black is not for them. I use black because my eyebrow hairs are black, so I just use black. Some people prefer dark brown though. Even if they're like my color, they like to use dark brown, or if they're darker than me, they like to use a dark brown, like an ebony shade. I personally use pot black gel eyeliner. I'm not saying that this is the best method, especially for a beginner, because I started using gel eyeliner for my eyebrows maybe like 2 years ago, but to each their own. I do have some good pencils though that you guys would love. My favorite pencil at the moment, as you can see I lost the caps for both of them, is by NYX Fill and Fluff. It has this little cute little brush. Do you see that? Like that's so cute. It has this cute little brush that you can use to like brush your hairs out. I find that this brush, I usually keep it around because it's really good for creating that ombre effect in the beginning of your brows, you know. But this is like a good pencil. Find your correct shade. I usually just go by the eyebrow hairs. Whatever eyebrow hair color you have is most likely going to be your shade. Ooh, now we're going to talk about my department, which is eyeshadow, okay? Eyeshadow's tricky because I showed you guys a lot of cheap options right now. However, I recommend if you're gonna start off in your makeup journey, you kind of have to go a little expensive with the eyeshadow. That's like the one thing you really need to splurge on, because you need quality when it comes to your eyeshadow. Reason being is because you can put on a drugstore eyeshadow palette and it'll be bright and it'll look great when you first put it on. Then 45 minutes to 2 hours down the line, it looks faded, it looks splotchy, it just doesn't look good. So I like to stick stick with my higher end eyeshadows. My favorite eyeshadow palette at the moment is the James Charles palette. He did what he had to do with this palette. It's so good. It's so good. So good. So I recommend brands such as Morphe, such as Urban Decay is really good with their eyeshadow. Tarte makes some really, really good eyeshadows. I enjoy Tarte too. Those are really the only brands that I really tried, to be honest, with eyeshadow. I tried NYX's eyeshadow. Not the best. But I'm gonna say if you have to splurge on anything in this video to get, I'm gonna say it's gonna have to be eyeshadow. You need that quality when it comes to eyeshadow. It needs the blendability. It needs to be able to layer with other colors, blend well. And obviously you use the smaller brushes to blend out your eyeshadow. There's no rule with eyeshadow. I feel like that's like the one thing where you could do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way to do eyeshadow. So that's what I have to say about that. So let's talk about lashes. So I bought these eyelashes off of Amazon. I get all my eyelashes from Amazon. Amazon, again, has everything. These are faux mink lashes. I do have a pair of actual mink lashes. I'm not a big fan of them, so I'm gonna say that faux mink are better, I guess. I've only tried one mink pair, so maybe I should give it another chance before I jump to such heinous conclusions. How to apply eyelashes, I'm going to make a separate video on that because I just learned how to put on eyelashes like 4 months ago. I know. I just learned how to I literally just mastered how to put them on 4 months ago. So I'm going to show you guys the trick that I did because I was listening to all these other people telling me their tricks and I was doing them and they just weren't working. So I'm telling you, I'm about to hook y'all up with this trick. It's so amazing. I don't even know how I stumbled across it. It's amazing. All right, now let's talk about the glow, the highlights. What do you gotta do? Again, you don't need something expensive for highlights. My favorite highlighter that I'm wearing right now costed $1, a singular dollar. It is this highlighter right here by AOA Studios. I bought this off of shopmissa.com. That website has everything for $1 or really, really cheap. I think everything's under $2. And I got this highlighter from them. It's a loose highlighter. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's loose. This is so pretty. I love it. I absolutely love it. Before this one, I was using the Wet n Wild one. Wet n Wild makes some bomb highlighters, like completely blinding fire highlighters by Wet n Wild. But if you find yourself not wanting to splurge on highlighter, you can use eyeshadow as highlighter. Yes, you can, baby. You can. Why did I say that? Yes, you can. So, for instance, if I had to use a highlighter in this palette, I would use this shade. That could be a pretty, I'll put it on right now. That could be a very pretty glow. Who says that you can't do that? Says who? And this palette, this one right here too. That's pretty. It's cute. It glows. Who says that you can't do it? I mean, I would recommend using a shimmer, obviously, and not a matte shade eyeshadow. Use a shimmer. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want. For blush, I use this blush currently. I'm not a big fan of it. It's also by AOA Studio. The reason why is I love the color. I love the color of the blush, but it fades. It fades quickly. So I need to actually get another blush. I was using e.l.f. before. e.l.f. blush is also fire. I need to pick up another one. I was at Walmart today. I don't know why I didn't pick up another one. So idiotic of me. I should have picked up another one. So yeah, this one is all right, but I recommend if you're gonna try blushes, try e.l.f. I've also heard some really good things about Milani blushes. I've honestly never tried anything from Milani, so I don't know what to say about that brand personally, but I do hear really great things about their blushes if you guys want to start there. So now we're gonna chat a little bit about the contour, the cheeks, the cheeks. Contouring, again, is really not my department. I don't contour because I have a fat face. My face is chubby. There's nothing to contour. Usually when you contour, it's because there's already something there, like some type of there's no structure in my face. It's just face. So, like, this highlighter is an illusion. I'm telling you right now, it makes it seem like I have a high cheekbone. I really don't. But, for contouring, I used to cream contour. It didn't look that great. I recommend bronzing, honestly, for beginners than contouring. Bronzing is kind of the same concept. However, it's more with a matte, warm shade. I use this to bronze. It's by Amuse. And again, it was also purchased off of Shop Miss A. As you can see, I clearly lost the lid. But this is what I've been using to contour. It's actually a single eyeshadow. But I don't use single eyeshadows. I thought it was by the color. I thought that it was a contour, so that's why I bought it. But it's the perfect bronze shade for me personally. I'm wearing this on my cheeks right now, like right here. And usually when you bronze, you use a big fluffy brush. This is what I use to bronze. A brush shaped like this. And it just kind of gets in there, you know, put a little bit. I do contour my nose, however. I use the same bronzer and I use a small brush. It looks like an eyeshadow brush that I use. So for my nose, I use this brush. This is my designated nose brush. And it literally just looks like a smaller version of the other brush I just showed. And I just tap. I usually just bring it down the sides of my nose. And then always, if you're contouring your nose, blend into your brows. Blend up and into your brows. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. Oh, for primer, I should have said this in the beginning. Primer, I don't use primer, so I can't really speak too heavily on primer. I want to start getting into primer. I used to use this e.l.f. one that I think that was the reason why I stopped using primer. It completely turned me off. So I'm gonna start getting more into primers, and as I get more into them, maybe my view will change. But as of right now, I don't use primers on my face. For lips and lipsticks and stuff, I personally don't wear lipstick. I just wear lip gloss. I wear cheap dollar store lip gloss, beauty supply store lip gloss, nothing crazy. My favorite lipstick though, I feel like NYX makes some really bomb lipsticks. I'm not a big fan of liquid lipsticks. They're really alright, but I do prefer the stick, if you will. Remember, oh my gosh, my entire wig cap is showing. Yo, we're gonna pull that down. And we're gonna redo that. Okay. So I was saying, what inspires my different styles? So when I first started getting into makeup, I was into pretty makeup, you know, like the type of makeup looks you see on Instagram, like that are like gold, like the wedding makeup and the prom makeup. Like that's the makeup looks that I would do and that I thought was pretty. And then I started to see people get more creative with makeup, like drag stars or drag queens and different things like that. Let me put this down a little bit. And different things of that sort. I started to see those looks and I was like, that is super dope, that's super cute. But I cared too much about what other people thought of me, and I cared too much about what other people were gonna say if they saw me with crazy neon eyeshadow or I don't even know. I don't wear lipsticks. I can't say like a bright lip, but like even then a bright lip or, you know, different things like that. I was just too scared. And I realized now I'm grown. I don't care what other people have to say if they're not paying my bills, if they're not paying me, if I'm not sleeping next to them at night. I don't care about what you gotta say about my makeup. I don't care what you have to say about my makeup. I just don't. So I started just letting go and being free. Today's makeup look with the blue, that was an accident. It was supposed to just be a blue wing, and then it was on this eye. I was trying to make it thicker, but then I like brought it like up like by accident, and I was like, oh crap. So then I was like, you know what, I be seeing people do that, and I was like, let me do that too. First of all, I would have never worn blue eyeliner like 2 years ago. I would have never worn blue eyeliner. But even if I was wearing blue eyeliner, if I messed up, I would have just taken all my makeup off and restarted to get it right again. And I realized that makeup is art. Makeup is what you want it to be. You can do whatever the hell you want and no one can tell you different. Whether you are a man, a woman, whatever your sexuality is, whatever skin color you are, you can do anything you want when it comes to makeup. And that's exactly what inspired me. If I was to say about people who inspire me, I feel like Euphoria really shook up the beauty community. The TV show with different makeup looks, they really like kind of rattled people. I feel like this is like a Euphoria makeup look, I guess. Like the daintiness and like the soft touches, the simplicity, I like that. But I also love the cut creases and the glitter and the pow and the craziness. I love those too. I love the rhinestones. Like, I love that. So I would say, people wise, Jerry the Worst, who inspired my makeup look for the last video, I went through her page and her makeup is amazing. Like, I would say that she's definitely been getting me to think outside of the box, for sure. I'm trying to think of any other makeup people or public figures. I can't really think of it, but I can't think of anything else. But I mean, as other people have inspired me, such as Jerry is the Worst and Euphoria, I hope that I get to inspire other people to step outside the box and do whatever the hell you want with your face, because at the end of the day, it's your face and makeup can come off. It's not like I'm picking this look on my face for the rest of my life. No, I can wipe this off. So why not have fun with it, you know? Somebody else asked, how long does it take for me to do my makeup? So it all depends on the look. Excuse me. Today, this look took me about 30 minutes. Neon green look that I did the other day, that took me 2 hours. That took about 2 hours, and honestly, I spent about an hour just on my eyes alone. But if I'm going for like an everyday look, like my everyday look is literally just this with no eyeliner, and usually no lashes, but like I'm trying to get into lashes, so, and eyelashes don't take me long to do at all. So I would say, like, without this, like the eyeliner and just my face, my everyday look probably takes me about 20 minutes max. So those are just a few of the questions that I received. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. Or you can DM me on Instagram. I would love to hear your suggestions, all of that. So that's all I really have to say. I thank you guys so much for supporting me. 2020 is going to be different. 2020 is going to be a different year. I can feel it. And I believe that that's it. I hope I was helpful. I really do, because I was struggling. Like, a lot of people were asking me so many questions, and I was just answering the same questions over and over and over and over and over again. So I hope that I was helpful. Let me know if you guys like videos like this where I'm just sitting down and chatting with you guys, just giving you guys advice, talking, whatever the case may be, you know. Let me know. Thank you guys again so much for watching today's video. Thank you for staying to the end of today's video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please comment down below any suggestions you have in the future. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok at TashelJ. What else? My makeup page with my best friend, it's JT Slays on Instagram. I'll put everything on the screen. Check us out there. And oh, thank you guys so much. I believe I was at 140 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you. I think last time I recorded it was at like maybe like 119, around there. So thank you guys so much for the support and everything. I appreciate you guys so much. I literally can't even explain it. I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you guys next time. Bye.